John Coltrane was an American saxophonist, bandleader and composer. John William Coltrane was born in 1926 in Hamlet, North Carolina, and he died in 1967 in Huntington, New York. He died at the age of 40. John Coltrane is an iconic figure of 20th century jazz music. He worked with other famous musicians as Duke Ellington and Miles Davis. John played with Miles Davis in a band. Miles fired and then rehired John Coltrane, but he got fired again because he failed to quit heroin. The saxophonist finally kicked his drug habit and he then started working with the pianist Thelonious Monk. As a kid, Coltrane was surrounded with music. His father worked as a tailor, but he also had a passion for music. His father played several instruments. That definitely had a big impact on his future. As a teen, he picked up the alto saxophone and he showed immediate talent. His family life took a big turn in 1939 as his father passed away. His family suffered from financial struggles. His mother Alice and other family members then moved to New Jersey in the hope of a better life, but John stayed in North Carolina until he graduated from high school. In 1943 he moved to Philadelphia to make a go of it as a musician. He studied at Ornstein School of Music, but the world was in war. He was called to duty in the Navy. As he returned to Philadelphia in the summer of '46, he studied at Granoff School of Music. He continually hooked up with a number of jazz bands. During the mid-50s he joined Miles Davis Quintet. Davis encouraged Coltrane to push his creative boundaries while holding him accountable for his drug habits. The group was working under a new record contract from Columbia Records, and the years after provided fruitful and artistically rewarding albums like the new Miles Davis Quintet from 1956.
In the late 1950s, the 251 had become a staple in many jazz compositions. From Charlie Parker's Blues for Alice to Bill Evans's Waltz for Debbie, and I'm seeing a pattern in these names. Anyhow, John Coltrane, he looked at this and he said something along the lines of, which essentially meant, well, 3 chords is nice and all, but how about if we did that in 3 different keys? And so, he invented what is known as Coltrane changes, and perhaps the most iconic song to use these Coltrane changes was John's very own
Okay, so to explain what I mean with Coltrane changes, let's start by just examining what 251 is. So, yeah, essentially, you have let's pick any key, let's just pick C. It's a synthesizer, you're going to have to get used to that. We picked C major because it's easy, yeah, so essentially the 2 of C would be D, because 1, 2, and the 5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this one. So essentially, you play a basic triad here, and a basic one here, and a basic one, 1. 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. Let's just jazz that up a little with some extensions. So there you have it, right? And you can do that in wherever you want. You can also do it key under if that's your thing. You can do it anywhere. Coincidentally, this is where Coltrane decided to put his song. So essentially, he thought, okay, B major, that's great and all, but from this key to this key, 12 notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He has this 2, 5, 1 going here. And he thinks, okay, let's split these 12 notes up into 3 keys. And so 12 divided by 3, that's 4. So you start here, and you go either 4 up or 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you land here, right? And you can now either, if you go back, you get back to B. But now you're on E flat, right? So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 to G. So essentially, the song's in 3 keys. D major, B flat major, and G major. I played a major 7 there, because I'm fancy. So essentially, it goes something along the lines of, here in H, or B major, sorry, that's a Danish German thing. B major. Those 2 chords are G major, and then it changes to E flat major, and then back to G major, and then back to E flat major, and then we're back in main key H, or B, sorry, my mistake, B major, E flat major, G major, B major, E flat major, and then it makes like a little thing there, which is 251 in B major. So B major again. So you can like end on the main key. So essentially, now I'm going to show the notes on the screen while I play, so it makes a little more sense. So essentially that's it. That's the entire thing. So yeah, those like Coltrane changes. You have one key and you split it up into 3 keys which are equally separated by each other. That's the important bit. It's not just 3 keys, because it'd be easily to like, let's say, modulate from C major to F major. You could just like do something. You could be like. And yeah, then you'd be in F major. So, or you could also modulate downwards, but I'm not going to waste your time on that. That was all for today.